another member of the team, Kenny Roda, who's on the phone line this morning. Hi, on the KennyRoda.com studio hotline. Hi, Kenny. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm having some Skype issues for the first time ever. It's on my end, so I apologize.
Wow.
Don't worry about it. Mike Pettin will go for it on fourth down.
Hey, Kenny, before we get going into this, that's true. Before we get going into this, congratulations on your new job. Does that start today?
No, I start a week from today. So we start the week of, let's see, the Cavs open up against the Knicks and then play the Bulls on Friday night. We carry both games on WHBC. And then how about this? That Saturday, it's McKinley-Massillon on WHBC, followed by Ohio State that night. I forget who is it that Ohio State. I think they're playing Illinois that night. And then the Browns have a game that Sunday that we carry against Tampa Bay. So it's going to be a great first week, and I'm looking forward to getting started down there in Canton at 1480 WHBC.
Plug your show a little bit. Are you doing it by yourself, and what time is it on? And
yeah, I'm flying solo, 3 to 7, Monday through Friday, down in Canton at WHBC, and you can check it out online at WHBC.com or go into the TuneIn radio app, and you can download it, and that way you can listen to me no matter where you go, in-state, out-of-state, in the country, out of the country, doesn't matter. And it's a news talk format down there at WHBC, but from 3 to 7, we'll be talking sports. And like I said, we're an affiliate with the Cavs, the Indians, the Browns, and the Ohio State Buckeyes, not to mention all.
It's a great place for you. You'll fit in perfectly. Honestly, I'm happy for you, man. It'll be a great restart to the show.
Yeah, you know what? It's been I joked. It's been a year of talking to myself, and I don't like the answers I've been getting back from myself. So talking to a bunch of people out there and get myself acclimated down there in Canton and Stark County and the Federal League, and I've never been to a McKinley-Massillon game, so this will be my first one, my first week, so I'm looking forward to it.
You will. I'll leave the jokes. It is a show with no rules. But
don't wear colors of either team. Would be the first rule I would tell you.
That's a good move. Hey, listen.
I will be neutral.
All right, let's get into yesterday's game, Kenny. First of all, your initial thoughts on yesterday's game.
Embarrassing. The fact that they're a pro team. Yeah, they get paid just like the Browns players do. They're a professional team, but 0-6, a rookie quarterback, no real running back. You've turned a college quarterback into your feature running back, and he goes for over 100 yards. A team that was averaging 13 points per game coming in gets 24 against you. We heard the word trap all week long, trap game all week long, and you're thinking, okay, Coach Pett's talking about, hey, it's better to be in this situation where you're facing a trap game. It means, you're doing things right, and yet the players still didn't take it seriously enough. I don't know. Not sure. Wasn't in that locker room. But not a good way to prove that you've arrived after all the love you got all week long. Monday morning quarterback, main story, right? Everybody, they're doing features about you. I picked them to win by 10 points. Everybody's talking you up, and you go out there and you just don't do anything right. The offense looked out of sync like they had never played football before. The defense, while it did get 3 turnovers, guys, the tackling was not good. Go back to the Allen Robinson touchdown right before the half. Yeah, again, it was Buster Screen who got beat, but okay, you get beat, wrap the guy up at the 15 or 20-yard line. No, he misses the tackle, and then Dante Hittner swings and misses. He misses the tackle, and all of a sudden, instead of a 9-0 lead and momentum going into the locker room at halftime, you're down 7-6, and to me, that was the game-changing, momentum-changing play of the game.
Absolutely, because I think it was a 3-play, 79-yard drive after that. Couple things.
3 plays.
3 plays. A couple things we can get into, Kenny, going on for that. And I want to talk about Mike Pettin's decision-making at some point in time.
Yeah.
But let me ask you about this. Alex Mack is pretty darn good. I think we would all agree with that.
Yes.
How can one offensive lineman, how can one offensive lineman, no matter how good or bad he is, change who you are as a team? The Jacksonville Jags defensive front manhandled the offensive line for the Browns yesterday, and it just ruined the whole offense. I'm blown away that losing one guy can be that much of a problem, Kenny.
Ask the Pittsburgh Steelers when Marquise Pouncey went down.
Okay, yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But isn't it
struggled mightily?
Guys, isn't it really losing 2 guys, Kenny?
What's that?
It's almost like losing 2 guys because you got to move a guy over to another position. Maybe I'm overselling that.
A legitimate backup center, and eventually the Steelers went and got that. I forget his. I think it was Doug Legursky, who they eventually had as the backup center. He wasn't a starter, so he just came in and was the backup center. And so that way you don't have to move a guard or a tackle or, and move 2 or 3 guys around. So fault Ray Farmer and the Browns, if you will, for not having a legitimate backup center, because you're right, it does affect 2 positions. And let's give some credit to Jacksonville. The strength, and I put this in my keys to the game on KennyRoda.com, one of their strengths was their defensive line, guys. So even with Mack in there, you knew that was going to be a tough matchup. Without Mack, it becomes even tougher. And so Ray Farmer, as a general manager, and he has that money under the cap, I guess, didn't feel it necessary to have a true backup center there, as opposed to just sliding somebody over and then moving McQuistern in, to start on the offensive line. But it was obvious that and the injuries on the defensive line took their toll as well. You go down to Florida in that heat and everything like that, and those D linemen, or lack thereof, they were dominated as well.
Yeah, they were. And I'm glad you said that, because they may have had problems, Kenny, with Alex Mack yesterday. I think it's eye-opening, though, that and Andy and I have gone back and forth about this. How do you fix this? Do you go out and get a center that's just a pure center? I don't know how good Paul McQuiston is, but for Seattle to let him go after they won the Super Bowl, a little telling. I just hate that.
Injured, though.
And injured. I hate this, and you guys may disagree with me. I hate that, okay, we knew Jacksonville had a good defensive line. We think you have a good offensive line. I felt like there was no plan B to, hey, if we get our butts kicked on the front, what are we going to do to change that up? Are we going to start double teaming? Are we going to go away from our zone blocking? I felt like they never had a backup plan, Kenny, and that drove me crazy. It's like, okay, if this Marks guy is going to dominate us, then let's come down and double team on him one time and crack him across the face. Let's do some things that people haven't seen. They had no backup plan, in my opinion, with the offensive line.
We'll do the grades later, guys, but I'll just give you a hint on my coaching grade. It's as low as you can get. For the first time, in-game decision-making as well as game planning for this game, Mike Pettin had a rough one yesterday. Yeah. And that's to be – he's a rookie coach, and you hate to say this, I'm not making excuses for him, but you knew this was going to happen. There was going to be a game where either, A, he wasn't well prepared from the game plan, the opening quarter, and then the halftime adjustments, or something was going to – and yesterday was one of those games because he had 2 fourth-down decisions. He decided to go for them. One, he should have kicked the field goal. It's a 2-score game. And then the second one, my God, there was I don't know what that was, okay, where guys are running off and running on, and then they run an option play with one of the slowest quarterbacks in the league, and Ben Chase doesn't even know what to do.
All I heard was the NFL music, the bloopers music going the whole time. I'm going, what the heck are you guys doing?
So Mike Pettin, you can put – it's a team loss, but Mike Pettin, the leader of this team, was not prepared, as well as Chris Tabor, as well. I mean, what were they thinking? What was Shanahan thinking, guys, on 3rd and 1 before the 4th down play, the first one? Why was Terrence West in the game?
And one of the reasons they didn't play him last week is because he doesn't bull forward to fall for a yard. Right. And then you got him in there on 3rd and 1.
He dances, right? That's the knock on him. And so they benched him last week, and one of the biggest plays of the game to that point, right? Yeah. 3rd and 1. Put either Tate or Crowell that's going to go straight ahead and get you. That forces you into the 4th down to make the decision. So another bad decision before another bad decision happened yesterday. So
it's like double negatives.
Did not have a good game.
The last thing that I'll leave you on, then I know we got to go. I thought of our guy, Jim Tressel, yesterday.
Oh, the punt is the most important play.
The most important play of the game,
think about that. If they early on, instead of going for it, and now it's a field position game on that play in particular.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And Poyer, God bless you, he's talking about he wants to make a play. But, buddy, in that part of the game, you don't catch a punt on or try to catch a punt on the 2-yard line. You get the heck away. I just feel like there's so much immaturity with this team on things like that, and that's what loses games.
Well, it all starts because their original punt returner, they don't trust him.
Yeah.
They can't put Travis Benjamin back there. So, again, we talk about the domino effect on the O-line, guys. Here it is again. And Jim Leonard is your best-case scenario there, right? That other guy back there had been there all game. Again, this goes back to either Tabor or Pettin, the entire coaching staff. Why is Poyer back there? And in basketball, we always say, know your personnel, right? Know who's on the floor with you, so who you pass the ball to in certain spots. Well, for Poyer in that situation, know your yard lines. Know where you're at. And if the ball's coming to you inside the 8, regardless of what the field looks like in front of you, You let the ball go into the end zone, get it at the 20, no turnover. And again, that was a costly play. It was just a total team collapse. It was fugly yesterday, and you guys know what fugly stands for.
We
That's
know.
how bad the loss was.
All right, Kenny, we're going to come back to you a little bit later. We'll do your grades, and we'll talk a little bit more about this game with you. Thanks, Kenny, and again, good luck on the new show, which starts next week, too.
All right, thanks, guys.
We'll talk to you later. All right, I want to go talk a little bit of Steelers and what a matter of perspective life will be now. Matt Lodi from SteelersGab.com joins us. And, Matt, I mean, now, look, you're looking at tonight. Pittsburgh's already ahead of the Browns in the standings at 3-3, if you want to look at the standings. And now, all of a sudden, if Pittsburgh beats Houston tonight, you're one game back on Baltimore and nothing matters. I don't know how good Pittsburgh is after watching them last week, but let's be honest. You could turn your fortunes around tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I said it last week after the debacle here in Cleveland. It's a week-to-week season, and I think I may have even said last week, what happens if the Browns lose in Jacksonville and the Steelers win? And the Browns, from a Steelers perspective, did their part. Now the Steelers have to do their part tonight. I do think the Steelers will win tonight. I do think that Houston's had a lot of problems lately protecting the quarterback. They've had a lot of problems with turnovers. Certainly, Indianapolis 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, rather, on Thursday night, got off to a fast start. I just think the Steelers have enough pride at home tonight in front of that crowd. They'll come out fast. They'll find a way to win the game. From a Steelers perspective, though, this is really a monster game because you have 3 straight home games. You're coming off the 2 back-to-back road games, one in which you beat Jacksonville 17-9, and then, of course, got crushed by the Browns a week ago. But you got Indianapolis at home tonight, and then you've got 2 monster games again. Indianapolis, who looked great yesterday against Cincinnati. You've got them at home next weekend. And then you've got the Ravens again on prime time in 2 weeks. So from a Steelers perspective, they've got to win at least 2, if not all 3 of these home games if they're going to be anywhere near the top of the standings or anywhere near a playoff spot in 3 weeks when they go back on the road.
Matt, I feel like this division, and we can get to this later, I feel like this division, the AFC North, has an identity crisis right now. I really do.
Yeah, but it's not a bad identity because everyone's over 500.
Yeah, everybody is.
Or 500
I mean, when you see what Cincinnati, they laid an egg yesterday. They really did. And then if you go by, Baltimore looked really good yesterday. Yeah. And look, Indianapolis has made both those ball clubs look bad. So maybe Indy is the team to beat. And I look at the Steelers game tonight. They have a great chance, but can they block who I think is the MVP of football right now, and J.J. Watt? Let's go back, though, a couple weeks with the Steelers. They struggled in Jacksonville. And people in Cleveland chuckled. We go, he only scored 10 points. He had to get a pick 6 late. We laughed at Jacksonville and laughed at Pittsburgh.
Wait, the same way everybody laughs at the Browns?
There you go. I think we should be careful, and I'm not saying this because we're with Lodi. I think this is going to be one of those years, guys, where, a team like Jacksonville is going to give – their defensive front is good. They're going to give teams problems. For the Steelers, though, do they have their identity figured out? We talked so much last week, Matt, about, how they were coached offensively. I think a lot of people, a lot of Steelers Nation tonight, they're sitting on pins and needles to see what this offense is tonight against Houston, aren't they?
Well, I mean, let's put it this way, guys. I know it sounds weird, but they actually did move the ball against the Browns. They just couldn't move the ball inside the 20. Their red zone offense is one of the worst in football, and it all comes down to play calling. I think Todd Haley and, between Ben Roethlisberger, Todd Haley, and the rest of those guys on offense, they've got to figure out a way to score inside the 20. I mean, last week, how many times did we see them move the ball 20-20, and then when they got down there, they couldn't do anything with it. I think when you have Le'Veon Bell, LeGarrette Blount, Dre Archer, I think you've got to find a way to run the football more effectively with those 3 guys. And when you've got Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Heath Miller, the other big problem too, and I'm sure you guys understand this, is they don't have a second wide receiver right now. Yeah. Marcus Wheaton was awful a week ago. Lance Moore from the Saints has been an offseason bust. I would not be surprised, and I've heard it all week, from Steeler Nation, if you see some of Martavius Bryant, the rookie, tonight, at least play a little bit. He'll get a helmet tonight, in my opinion. I'd be very surprised if he's inactive like he has been the first 6 weeks. I think he'll play tonight. I think he'll have maybe 1 or 2 opportunities to even get on the field tonight. I think they feel that that's a guy that maybe could give them a spark a little bit, especially in the red zone. You just kind of throw the ball up to him, if you will, a la the Plexico Burrises of the day, to see if he can come down with it. So offensively, I don't know anymore, Andre. I thought that they were a team that could run the football, especially with those 3 backs, especially with the 2 backs, more so in LeGarrette Blount and Le'Veon Bell. But they love Ben Roethlisberger, and it's sort of still his offense, so they want to give him opportunities along with Antonio Brown and Heath Miller and those other wide receivers. So, to me, it's an offense that should be able to put up 20, 27 points a game, but right now they just haven't done it.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. We'll make sure we read you on SteelersGab.com. Thanks, Matt.
Okay, guys.
We
Have a good
appreciate
week.
it.